Hi guys, Piotr here, this LiteFinance global YouTube channel. First, I would like to apologize for my voice. I'm really sick today. Also, for a whole day, there is a huge monster storm outside within the place where I am for the whole day. So I'm really sorry for the noise eventually, but yeah, as I mentioned, since yesterday, storm, and it's the time is I'm running out of the time with the recordings. So yes, that's what I have to do. But we are going to talk about the very interesting things. We are going to talk about few stocks. I'm going to watch towards the end of the May and in June when it comes to the medium and long-term approach. Well, taking into the consideration the latest CPI and PPI figures, we've seen that the figures, the inflation figures, they scared the market a lot, right? So for now, I would avoid a bit some technological stocks, also because we have easing coming in when it comes to the COVID. I would also avoid stocks like Netflix and for example Zoom. I would be careful trying to pick up these, especially that both are gonna be the things I mentioned before, like the COVID easing and the rising inflation may influence those two names. Overall, for the last few days, the sentiment is not that great, especially when it comes to the Nasdaq. So I would try to go medium long term, a little bit more defensive for now. And well, even we are easing with COVID, I like Pfizer, all right? But it's not a straight trade. What I like with Pfizer is the possible pullback from this 40 level with the overall market condition. What I like on the weekly chart is the latest weakness we've seen from here, right? Latest weakness we've seen from here. So I'm going to look to buy on a stop count below 38 down towards 37.20, and we are going to look for maybe closure or narrower the range on a daily chart in a moment. But from the weekly chart perspective, I would be out probably with the weekly close below 36.30. What I'm going to target based on this weekly chart after the eventual pullback, of course, the rally back towards 45 or even stop count and rally towards 47. Let's have a look what we have when it comes to the daily chart here. And there you go, right? So the weakness we discussed below 38, so attempt to break from that consolidation to the downside, right? There was not the biggest retest here. So as I mentioned, stop count below 37.90, 37.80, mid of that range down towards 37.50, 37. That's gonna be the buying opportunity. In that case, stop below 35.50, 35.30 in place. And here we go. A little bit different target. The first target would be around 42 and 42.80, taking into the consideration the daily chart, so medium, maybe not long term. So if I do like Pfizer, so probably you know that I'm going to like also Moderna, right, in that case. And let's have a look first what we have from the weekly chart perspective. We are within the rising trend here. I'm looking for a little bit more downside based on the current market situation. I'm looking for levels close to 139 down to maybe 129, right, based on the weekly chart, and further rally at least to retest the recent high around 188. Let's have a look what we have when it comes to daily chart. All right, the daily chart, there is a possibility of the consolidation, right? So medium term, it might be a little bit easier, trying to buy down towards 122.50 on the daily chart, and 117 with the stop below 106, targeting again the high around 183.50. So that's how I see eventually Moderna. All right, what else I like? Well, IBM. All right, okay, someone may say you've mentioned that you don't like tech stock, but I would say it's some kind of the conservative trade. Eventually, we still didn't get the high related pre-COVID high. We are fighting with these levels. I truly believe that based on the current market situation, we are around the high. We might see the pullback. Well, again, I believe 33 also might be taken out. I like the buyers around 120 with the stop below 110, targeting 150 as the first target, and then 173, 175 as a second target. I would say a little bit long term. So that's how I see the weekly chart, right? Let's have a look what we have when it comes to the daily chart. We are approaching and testing significant supply. We've seen the pullback, right? So as I mentioned, I'm looking for the level mentioned on the weekly chart a little bit lower, and with the possible further rally from there. So I'm not, as you can see, I'm not buying immediately, right? I'm rather waiting based on the current market situation. I'm waiting for a deeper pullback. Another one I like very much here, all right, is going to be, as you can see, Coca-Cola. Okay, I think that long term we are going to retest 81. We are currently at 54, but I'm not quite interested buying right here, right now, unless we are going to get the close, let's say above 50, 56, right? Then buying the tiny pullback really higher. But I think again that we might see the pullback. What kind of the pullback I'm going to look for? In between 51.30 and 47.60 based on this weekly chart, then attempt to rally. And if we are going to get the close above, as I mentioned, 55, let's say, then the pullback you may want to add, and first target around 66.30, and the second target around 77.50, 81.25 based on the weekly chart. Let's have a look what we might see here based on the short-term possible trade. Let's switch lower to the daily chart, and here we go. Well, there was a possible head and shoulders selling opportunity with the break upside. So the pullback to the neckline again, 51.30, 51.25 as discussed on the weekly. Eventually retest of the neckline and rally from here. There you go. And finally, I would like to propose something a little bit different, because I've mentioned that we have this rising inflation, and not necessarily it's going to be good for the tech sector, right? But in that case, I would try to make a little bit different story, meaning that I would try to go with some pair trading. For example, all right, I would like to go, for example, Amazon long, all right, based on the, let's say, weekly chart, let's say on the bottom of the consolidation, all right, around 2,900, and if we are going to break that consolidation, we might retest this demand around 2,450, all right, based on the same size of the move down towards 2,250. So in that case, I would try to go long from here, and from here at the same time, using the same right amount, I would go short, for example, Alibaba, right? Because in that case, we broke several important levels. So for now, any kind of the bounce, it could be rejected. But don't forget that you have to have your entry at the same time. So you have to watch very carefully when it comes to this possible pair trading. One is the possible long, and second is a possible short, and the difference, if the plan is going to work our way, should pay out. With that being said, guys, that's what I'm gonna to watch late May and June from the medium and long term perspective. I'm sorry for my voice, I'm sorry for the noise when it comes to the storm. I'm sorry. It was my pleasure to prepare this update for you. I wish you great trading, few next trading session, and then see you around. Take care and goodbye.